What's up, YouTube? Erod212 here, and today I'm going to talk about 4 spec books that I'm hunting for, and you should be too. So, it's that time again. Let's do some spec books here. These are books that I'm looking for right now, or I have acquired, and probably I'm looking to buy multiple copies of. But just something for you guys to think about. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of these spec picks, and I always enjoy the comments. All right, so let's take a look at the first book I'm talking about, and that is Superior Spider-Man number 17, the 1 in 50 J.G. Jones variant. Why am I picking this book? Miguel O'Hara, we know, Spider-Man 2099 is coming. All right. I mean, it's been hinted in the Spider-Verse series, and let's see if he can get something live action with everything the way Spider-Man is coming and multiverse. This could be an option. This is not his first appearance or his first story arc, but it is probably one of the best, if not the best, cover I've seen of him yet. And cover art is coming back big right now. People are buying comics for covers, especially with all the new investors that are coming into the market. I've seen this trend before. People come in and they buy it for the artwork, not even the story arc, just the artwork. Well, this is one of the best covers. Let's take a look at GPA analysis on this book and see what this book is going for in a 9.8. All right. So as you can see, Spider-Man number 17 from the 2013 series, a 9.8 of this, and that it's considered the variant edition right here. 90 days, it's $425, but last sale was $550. Let's take a look. See, it had a big peak in 2018. It lulled and dropped right around March of 2020, and since then it's seen a steady increase in it. I just think it's a good book. I think it's a great cover, and sometimes covers drive a book. So the last sale was for $500 in May, and before that someone got one for a deal for $300. Let's see what the raw prices for this book are on cover price. All right, so like I said, Superior Spider-Man 17, the variant edition, and it looks like raw average sales raw book on this book raw go for about $175. That's the most recent sales. Yeah, in May you had one sell for $176, March one for $199, in April of 2020 it was $90. So if you can pick this book up for about $150 to $170, and we saw the GPA on it, I think it's worth it. And remember, I'm seeing this book come across my pressing service more and more, which means more and more people are putting speculation into it. It's another good way for me to gauge it's what people are buying and investing their money for CGC in. So, but a good book to look at, and a book if you find for an affordable price to definitely invest in. Okay, book number 2. Book number 2 is a book from the Bronze Age that I'm a big fan of. I was a fan of the story as a younger guy reading this stuff. A lot of fun, and that's Micronauts number 1. All right, now Micronauts number 1 is a book that was created, I think it's 1970, in the late 70s there, and it was a toy line by Hasbro. So the story is that Bill Mantlo, his son, was opening up some of these Micronaut toys, and Bill was looking at the toys and really liked them a lot, and approached Marvel about being able to write the story for this stuff, and he creates the whole Micronauts verse with the Croyer and Bug and Baron Karza and all of those characters. So actually, like, Bug becomes a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I've mentioned this before. I've talked about this book before, but the book is really starting to peak, with all of, like I said, with all of these outside investors and people looking at books and trying to figure out what's the next big thing. These property lines that people haven't touched yet, or that aren't your mainstream superheroes, are stuff that people are starting to look at now. Now it's an all white cover, so it does hide the spine ticks well, but a 9.8 is achievable on this book, and there are quite a few of them out there, but it's still a great book to have. So let's take a look at what this book goes for on GPA as a 9.8. All right, Micronauts #1 from 1979. As you can see, the 90-day average on this book is trending. It's up for $393, with the last sale in June for $436. And this book is climbing little by little. It's been climbing. It saw a peak before, and it is rising again. Now, Hasbro had announced with Paramount Pictures that they were in production to make a movie for this, but that was in 2015, so we're talking 6 years ago. Let's see where that goes. But there's good spec and good hype on this book. If you find this book cheap, it's a good book to get. Also, raw copies are not expensive, but as you can see, June 27th we had a sale for $436. June 25th, $464. So the last 3 sales in June have been over $400, and then multiple other sales in June for $400. There was an anomaly there, $699. But consistently through May, all the way through now, this book has been a $400 book. So anytime I can get a book for $400, I'll take it. And let's take a look at cover price and see what this book is going for raw. All right, so Micronauts #1. Just a great cover. I love that cover. I believe that's Michael Golden did that cover. I might be wrong though, but here we go. Last recorded sales were for raws with about $30. Fair market value on the raws is about $22 right now. And let's see some sales here. All right. Yeah, so there's been quite a few sales on this book. 13 sales, averaging between the $20 and $30 range. I would say between $15 and $20 for this book is an affordable price that you can invest in. Just make sure you look for a high quality one for a 9.8 at least. Shoot for that 9.8 into the 9.6s. Probably 9.6s are probably like in $100 and something range. I didn't look at that there, but if you've got 9.8s going for $400 on a book that only cost you $15 to $20 to invest in, and again, this is why I talk about practicing your grading skills. It's going to get you a great return on investment. It's just a good book to speculate on. All right. So now let's talk about book number 3 that I want to talk about here. And this one came to me because I was watching the Loki series. So if you were watching the Loki series, you saw that Loki was off on that planet Lamentus 1, which was a moon from Lamentus, which was being destroyed. And it was mentioned that Lamentus has only been mentioned once in the MCU. Not the MCU, in the Marvel Universe. And that's during Annihilation Conquest, the prologue issue, which actually is starting to pick up some steam. Now, Annihilation is just a fantastic series that went through all of Marvel's space characters. So Guardians of the Galaxy were in it. Philovel was in it. Quasar was in it. Nova is a major player in there. It's also, we get the first rendition of the new Guardians of the Galaxy. You have Annihilation. Annihilus is in it. Galactus is in it. It was everybody, and it carried through a bunch of different series. There's actually an omnibus which I'm looking to pick up for it. But there's been speculation about Annihilation becoming a series that's going to be utilized in the MCU, be it in TV series or in the movies. I mean, it's that epic that you can make a movie out of it using Quill and Star-Lord. Introduce Richard Rider as Nova. I mean, the sky's the limit. You have, probably could put like an Adam Warlock inside there. You could just do so much with it. But Lamentus, One, the only time it's ever mentioned in comics is in Annihilation Conquest, the prologue. Now, part of Annihilation Conquest, I'm sitting there thinking is, well, we know that in Annihilation Conquest, you get the formation of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you get first appearance of Wraith is part of the Annihilation Conquest, but he gets his own story arc. But what we didn't talk about is who are the bad guys in Annihilation Conquest. And for that, we have to look back at this issue. That's right, X-Men number 312. And that is the first appearance of the Phalanx, the bad guys of this whole series. So it's crazy how Marvel can take something from an X-Men series. Makes you wonder, can the X-Men be woven into this, even if there's a little hint? Who knows? But take something from the X-Men series and put that into something that kind of ties in through the Loki series with Annihilation. So it was really interesting. But, the Phalanx are a techno-organic beings, and they have like a hive mind, and they go around and they conquer planets, but they also decide what planets, what populations of people they're going to assimilate into their hive mind. So they basically are overtaking people in the books. They take on the Kree and overtake the Kree. Really interesting stuff. But 312 is a very, very, very affordable book. I won't even look at the G. Well, you know what? Let's look at the GPA on 312. All right. So as you can see, not an expensive book. Only 3 of these books have sold. Average price on this is about $70 right now. This is before. Now, this is my spec. This is something I like to look at and just look a little further. Try and figure out exactly what Marvel is trying to do, try and stay one step ahead. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But with a book like this, which is only like a $3 to $4 book, you can't go wrong in picking up great copies. And there's a ton of these out there. So get them before they get hot. I've been picking up a couple of them. Maybe you guys should too. All right. And now let's talk about the last book. And the last book I'm going to talk about, I think that this book, again, is another book that has a lot of upswing. Are there a lot of them out there? Yes, but it was also kind of a kid's book when it came out. And that book is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1. And that book was created by Hamilton Comics, not a major company, Hamilton Comics. This was a book my son loved, and he still has his copy to this day. But that generation of kids between that late 20s into the early 30s that grew up on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are coming into disposable income now. They're getting established in life, and now it's their time to buy their stuff. Now, I've watched, I know about the Power Rangers more. Of course, I know the characters and everything like that, but the trend to it because my son is a collector of the Power Rangers stuff. So when we go to cons, he'll get autographs from Jason David Frank and all of the other Rangers. And I can't believe the amount of people that are clamoring to these guys. I guess I can, because it's just something dear to our heart. So we've seen what He-Man has done right now, and how DC Presents 47 is out of control with the prices. 9.6s are like $700, and we've seen the upswing on G.I. Joe all of a sudden, and those are all those books that the guys in their 40s right now loved. All those toy lines that they played with. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are another one. Well, the next wave is going to be stuff like this. It's going to be the Power Rangers. So those are books that you need to look at. Power Rangers #1, you can find this stuff probably in a flea market, garage sales and stuff like that. I guarantee that. But let's take a look at the numbers on this book, because they're going to surprise you. All right, so here we go. Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from 1994. Hamilton Comics, I believe it was 4 issues set. The series is first started out. But as you can see, the 90-day on this is $444 with the last sale of almost $500. 9.6, the last sale was $235. 9.4, $100. This book is getting hot. There were 4 sales in 90 days. In the last year, there were 32 sales. So people are starting to buy this book up. And look at the spike on that book. You could see it was lulled for a while, and now it's picking up. This spike here is probably when the Power Ranger movie came out, which didn't do too well, but the book is climbing. So there you go. Multiple sales in the 500 from March all the way through April, which was the last sale. You're talking some 500 to 400 to $500 sales, multiple sales in the $500 range. So definitely a great book. If you find it in the wild or you find it at a show and the guy doesn't know what he has, to pick up, I think. And let's just take a look at cover price and see what this is going for raw right now. All right, so here we go. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1 by Hamilton Comics. Not even a great cover art, but this book inspired, this characters inspired a generation of kids. So it says here raws are going for about $33. But I was looking on eBay and I saw them for cheaper. You could probably get them for a little less, but let's take a look at the raw data right here. As you can see, there's quite a few sales. In June, a $40 sale, a $30 sale, 30 and 25. So you're talking a $25 range. All right. Yeah, I saw it in the $20 to $25 range, but there's been sales higher in June, June 28th, actually. Three of them in June 28th sold between $30 and $40. And that's 6 ounces. So those are graded copies. That's what that is. But in May, you saw $27, $29, and in April you could see some more raw sales in there. If you look on eBay, probably like in that $25 to $30 range. So $30 range, and then you get a $500 book if you can pick that book out. Good book to pick up, I think. So those are my picks. I hope you guys enjoyed them. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right now with CGC being sold and Blackstone buying the majority on that. Where does that lead comics? I think that's a topic for another day. You guys let me know what you think about that. But I don't think this hobby that we love is going anywhere. If anything, it's going to get stronger, a little more expensive. So we have to be creative and figure out ways to get books before big time investors and everybody else start scooping up, because they're going to buy the major keys, but we're going to buy the books that become major keys. That's the way I look at it. And this is one way of doing it, is speculating into the future and taking shots at certain books that might make it, some might not. But if you love the hobby anyway, it's all part of it. It's fun. But yeah, that's my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until my next video.
Avengers! Assemble.